Welcome to the Transformation Zone podcast, hosted by DOSSOU, founder of Salesforce Catalyst. Prepare for a journey into personal growth and business evolution. Discover inspiring stories and strategies to break free from fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. You know who's on air again, all the way from Togo, Togo. Today, my assignment is about what I've called the stress vaccine. And what we are going to do is create together this vaccine. But before we enter the laboratory to create this vaccine, let me tell you a story about stress. Once upon a time, there was a Hungarian boy born on the 26th January 1907 in a family of medical practitioners. By the age of 4, he could already speak 4 languages. In his adult age, he rejected the family surgical clinic and ventured into research, joining then the McGill University in Canada. At the university, he embarked in this research that was inspired to him by the observations that he came across while witnessing the attitude and the symptoms of the ill people that came to his parents' surgical clinics. Okay? So in his research, he observed common physical responses such as adrenal gland and peptic ulcers in rats exposed to various environment and various stresses. So what is the adrenal gland? The adrenal gland are very small organs above your kidney that get bigger than usual enlargement. Okay? And the peptic ulcers are basically sores or painful spots in the stomach or upper part of the small intestine. All right? Stay with me, okay? It's going to be a fun one, right? You know how we do. We get educated, we get inspired. All right? So, this gentleman discovered through his observation and experiences something that will not only change the world of medicine, but the entire health sector, even decades to come. His name is Hans Selye, Selye, and he's the author of what we call the Hans Selye theory. So Hans discovered that stress can cause illnesses through a process called the general adaptation syndrome, known as GAS. GAS. This theory suggests that when an individual is exposed to any unknown situation that require adaptation, their body goes through 3 stages of response. The first one being alarm reaction, where the body goes into a state of alert, like being on high alert for a potential threat. Physiological responses such as increased heart rate, rapid breathing, and heightened awareness occur. The second stage being the stage of resistance. If the stress continues, the body attempts to adapt and cope with the demand. It mobilizes its resources to resist the stressor and maintain stability. And then the third stage is the stage of exhaustion, where prolonged exposure to stress can lead to exhaustion. The body's resources become depleted and the individual becomes more vulnerable to illness. The immune system weakens, making it easier for diseases to take hold. Well, in simple terms, Hans discovered that stress over an extended period can wear down the body's ability to cope, making it more susceptible to illnesses. The continuous strain on the body's systems, particularly the immune system, can eventually lead to health problems. His theory emphasizes the importance of managing and adapting to stress to maintain overall well-being. Now, what does that have to do with the vaccine we want to create, and what does that have to do in nowadays world? Now, let's remember that stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. That's as per the Cambridge Dictionary. Okay? So when we look at today's world, according to Statistica, over 8% of the European Union population suffers from chronic depression caused by stress. So we are talking almost 35 million people dealing with chronic depression caused by stress. In the United States, according to usafacts.org, over 21 million people on a population of 365 million people suffer from chronic depression, and 15 million people out of those 21 million are also experiencing anxiety and many other sicknesses, all in the name of stress. Okay? So if you are listening to me right now, I don't know what you're going through. Okay? Perhaps you have headaches, or perhaps you have stomach ache, whatever you are dealing with, okay? Or perhaps you are even experiencing low self-esteem. I don't know what it is, okay? But according to Hans Selye's theory, there's a great chance that could be caused by the various circumstances that you have been put into that has stressed you and that has demanded your body to adapt, and that can eventually lead to exhaustion, leaving the body being susceptible to attack. I mean, look at today, right? I mean, inflation rate is skyrocketing. In Turkey today, for example, they have inflation more than 300%, and that is crazy, okay? We have this global inflation rate where life is becoming increasingly expensive, with wars exploding all over across Europe and Africa, you name it, okay? So, since we are in the transformation zone, okay, and transformation is defined by the change of one's outer form from how it was to another, okay, which is the result of an inner change, we want to create a vaccine, okay? We want to basically create a solution whereby we are able to, one, make ourselves more resilient against stress. Two, even best, being able to prevent ourselves taking in situations that makes us stressful and eventually causing us to be sick. Now remember, health is wealth. Okay? If you are stressful all the time, you are unable to pursue your goals and dreams, guess what? You are going to be miserable because of inaction and because you are not getting progress in your life. Okay? So what basically we are trying to achieve here is not only a stress vaccine, but think about it as an anti-achievement vaccine. Think about it as a non-fulfillment of purpose vaccine. Think about it as the greatness booster shot. Okay? So, before we go into that, let us observe the types of stresses that we have. Okay? So, first we have what we call the acute stress. Okay, so what is an acute stress? So the acute stress are short-term, usually emotions and the body that return to their normal state relatively soon. Okay, so acute stress is usually short-term. So it's things that causes rapid breathing and over sweating and our body get tense. Okay, that's an acute stress. Okay, and they result from the body's reaction to a new or challenging situation. Okay, just stick with me. I'm going to give you examples. Okay, I'm going to share a very interesting story with you right now that's going to reflect all these three things. Okay, next one is episodic stress. An episodic stress is basically acute stress, but when it happens on a frequent basis. Okay, and then chronic stress. Chronic stress is the result of stresses that continue over a long period of time. And this type of stress feels never ending. Okay, we often have difficulty seeing any way to improve or change the situation. And that is how we get stuck. Okay? So now, story time now. Story, yeah. So a very close friend of mine, very great guy, okay, enthusiastic, great attitude. He shared a very, very touching story with me. Okay? Now, I'm not gonna call his name, okay, in this podcast. Oh, you know what? Let's give him a name. Let's call him Dave. Okay. So Dave is 30 years old. Okay. And for 29 years of his life, Dave has never dealt with anxiety, depression, or anything of the sort. Until he started dating this girl. And then 3 months down the line, Dave got the news that she's pregnant. She said, okay, well, what are we going to do? And the girl says that she wants to keep the baby. So, okay, that's great. And 2 weeks later, the girl called Dave and says, I want us to break up. All right? Dave was like, hang on a second. Why do you want to break up? He just got pregnant. Let us figure out how we want to raise the kid. The girl was like, no, I don't feel great. I'm anxious. I don't know what I'm going to do. Dave said that he tried everything to comfort the girl, but she wouldn't budge. Okay? Well, a month later, the girl texts Dave at 3 o'clock in the morning that he's taking a flight going back to her ex with the pregnancy. Well, Dave said when he got the news, the phone fell from his hand and he was dumbstruck, not knowing what to do. Well, it gets better, guys. It gets better. Hold on. All right. Let me tell you what happened next. Well, Dave said, look, I thought to myself for a second, well, if this girl really has my kid, I'm a family man and I don't want to turn my back on my kid. So I'm going to keep trying to support the girl, send her money. And he kept sending her money. And eventually, 6 months down the line, he convinced the girl to come back to the country that they were living in. And the girl said that, look, Dave, I don't want to live with you. I will live with a friend of ours that we have in common. And this is a male friend. So Dave trusted his male friend to help with the situation and basically, protect. And what he said, giving her money, providing financial support. And need I remind the listener that Dave tried everything to actually get this girl to be by his side so that he could be the father, be in the presence of his unborn child, okay, and be there, so that the child could feel his warmth. But this girl wouldn't budge. Okay. So a month after this girl comes back, while Dave was trying to secure an apartment, a place to stay, all of that, Dave finds out that this girl started dating their common friend. Now, picture this for a second, okay? I want you to put yourself in Dave's shoes, all right? You fall in love with the girl. 3 months down the line, she falls pregnant, one of the most important part of your life. She doesn't want you to be part of it. Secondly, she leaves, goes back to her ex. You as a man, you are alive. A woman decides to take your kid and go back to a different man while you're not abusive, while you're very much willing to support, while you want to be part of your life's kid, your child's life, okay? And then Soon after, you find out that this girl started dating the friend that you have in common. How would you feel? Okay? Now, in every story, there's always two sides. Okay? You're listening to this right now, you're thinking, but hang on, okay, what did Dave do? Now, look, I am telling this story from the perspective of Dave, okay? And me knowing Dave, I know what kind of guy he is, okay? Now, this is where it even gets worse or better. It depends on whoever is listening. This girl tells Dave that, hey, listen, you've made me pregnant. I didn't want to be pregnant. You've made me pregnant. So you're not going to be part of the child's life if ever he's born. The child's not going to have your surname. I am going to write on the birth certificate that you are absent. And the only thing that you can potentially have are pictures and videos. Now, Dave says, hey, Stephen, listen, man. For 29 years, I've never been anxious. I've never been stressed. But from that day, I started dealing with chronic stress. I started having anxiety to the point where I was even feeling depressed. So, Dave's story is about a girl that he was in love with that fell pregnant, and things went south. Things went south. Things became very, very bitter. Okay. But you listening to me right now, your story could be about a very toxic relationship with your boss. You listening to me right now, your story could be about someone that abuses you sexually, or abuses you emotionally or verbally, and that causes you stress. You listening to me right now, your story could be about the inability of you to find a job. Okay? You listen to me right now, your problem could be that your boyfriend or girlfriend does not treat you the way you want to be treated. Or you are stuck in time, not being able to give birth to your dreams and goals, whereas you know very well what you're capable of. And that is causing you stress and potentially leaving you vulnerable to diseases. So, Dave said, after a while, well, he tried to deal with it, okay? So, but the question then is, what do we do, okay, when we find ourselves in situations like that? What do we do when we are dealing, with whether it's acute stress or whether it's chronic stress or whether it's episodic stress? We getting heart flash, we getting heart attack, panic attacks. They said that the day the friend they have in common, okay, when the kid was born on the 8th of November, okay, 2022. Talking about a story that happened recently, right? Dave said that the day he got the picture, he got a panic attack. Now, I'm talking about someone that has never dealt with anxiety for 29 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, whoever you are, stress can come into your life and cause you challenges. Okay? So what do we do? Okay. What do we do in situations like that? And how can we then create a stress vaccine? Okay. What can we do so that when we find ourselves in situations like that, we have already built a mechanism in a system in us that's able to deal with these stressful situations so that we are resilient and potentially free of sickness. Okay? Let me give you 4 preventive measures and how we can do that. Okay? The first one is self-compassion. Yes, self-compassion. Okay? Cut yourself a slack. Do you get what I'm saying? You are a human being. You are meant to make mistakes. Things happen in life, okay? Things happen in life. Listen to me, all right? The only time you think you are victim is when indeed you are a victim. But when it happens to somebody else, we all wish that we are not in it. We all wish that nothing happens to us. Okay? But if it happens to you, catch yourself a slack. All right? Self-compassion. Second one, rest well. Sleeping. Jeff Bezos says that he sleeps 8 hours a day. Okay? Get some rest, because I don't know about you, okay, but me, when I sleep well, I eat well, I wake up very well. There's a very funny Nigerian comedy I watched once. The guy says, look, if you're feeling depressed or anxious, eat a very good meal, get a good nap, and wake up and see what I used to feeling depressed. Now, I mean, it's a comedy, right? but to some extent, I'm saying it's true, okay? Get some rest. When you are anxious, when your mind is restless, full of stress, guess what? Sleep becomes an expensive commodity. You can't get enough sleep anymore. Okay? Third one is social connections. Mingle with people. When you are by yourself, for yourself, it's very easy to fall in a deep. Guess what? When you are with positive people, you get to get the energy back, and you get to be set on fire, excited, enthusiastic. And the fourth one is meditation. Okay, practice meditation. My rule of thumb is find what your favorite color is, put it on the wall, and just meditate on it. Just for 5 minutes every single day. 50 Cent, in his book Hustle Harder, tells a story of how he met Deepak Chopra, Dr. Deepak Chopra. And Deepak Chopra taught him how to meditate. And he says that when he tried to meditate, thoughts just kept coming racing by. And he called Dr. Deepak Chopra back. It's like, hey man, listen, I'm trying this formula exercise you gave me, but my thoughts are just racing over me and I can't focus. And Dr. Deepak Chopra told me, look, that is the whole point. You may not get it you may not get it right away, or first or second or third or fourth time. But the whole point of the matter is you have a tool that can help you build a vaccine anti-stress over time. Do you understand? So you have a tool in your toolkit where you can go, draw, and use. Okay? So meditation is part of the concoction for the formula. Okay? Now, while I think these techniques are great and have worked for many, okay, I think the priceless practice that is the real stress vaccine. Okay, listen to me very well. The priceless practice that is the real stress vaccine is what I call LG. What is that? Letting go. You see, being able to make a discernment between what is worth your stress, your time, your attention, and what is not, it makes a big difference. I have a favorite saying. It says that do your best and God will do the rest. There's too many things we hold on to in life that cause us unnecessary stress. Let go. Let go of that grudge that you have. Let go of that fight you had with someone. Let go of that grief you're carrying. Let go. It doesn't serve you. Okay? The servant Pandora, servant, S-A-V-A-N-T, the servant Pandora, give the example of the Pandora box. He says, look, once you have tried to put everything, he talks about the sins, okay? Once you've tried to put procrastination, anxiety, or when you've tried to put everything in the box, when you've tried to control everything, okay, only put in the box what is controllable by you, okay? And anything else, just let go, because it doesn't matter how much you try to control everything. That which is not controllable can't be controlled. There's a saying that a man forced against his own opinion is of the same opinion still. Okay? So anything that you can't control, just let go. It's like Dave. Dave said, look, I tried to reason this girl, but after trying everything, I just said, look, it's okay. Do what you want to do. One day, if this kid grows up and wants his father, you can call me. Otherwise, I was gonna literally die of stress, Stephen. That's how he confided in me. Okay? So letting go requires a great deal of faith and conviction that no matter what, things will not happen to you, but they will happen for you. And remember this always, okay? If you haven't gotten anything out of this podcast today, remember this, that winning is not easy. It's okay to fail sometimes, and it's okay to succeed often, and it's human to experience doubt and fears. But if there is ever a chance, 1 in a million, 1 in a billion, for us to go and grow better than we were yesterday, then I would love for you to seize that opportunity. But even better, I would love to hold your hand so together we can march towards your life's purpose. It's Stephen DOSSOU signing out all the way from Togo, TOGO, Salesforce Catalyst. Feel free to reach out to us. Send us an email, send us a voice note of what you think of this episode, all right? Or reach out to us if you need help to overcome your anxieties, fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem on www. You're gonna know what it is very soon, all right? Remember, you can be great, and I will see you on top. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Transformation Zone podcast. If you're ready to propel your business and life to new heights, visit our website at www.salesforce.co. Connect with us for personalized transformation strategies. Until next time, embrace the journey and sail confidently toward your success.